Hi Marcus, this is Sarah again. I hope that you're doing well today. I missed spending time with you, but hopefully this video will provide some helpful tools. And so I know last week we talked about some deep breathing exercises, and I led us through that deep breathing exercise where you visualize the balloon in your stomach expanding and getting smaller. Which hopefully that came in handy for you, and maybe you got to use it even more than once. I'd love to hear when next time we see each other how that's been going. I'm going to teach you another tool to add on to that today. It's just called using an anchor word. And so whenever we're doing these deep breathing exercises or doing any sort of mindfulness or meditation, I know that you taught me that really cool trick of toe tapping. And this is something you can use during that too. It's having a word or an image or something that you come back to that helps you focus when you're doing a mindfulness activity. And so, when meditating, you can learn to focus your attention on an anchor. That's our theme for today, is an anchor. A meditation anchor can be anything. The movement of your chest as you breathe, so really focusing and thinking about the movement of your chest, or like how we did the balloon, focusing on the balloon. It can be a sound in the room. It could be music that you're playing. It could be a word that you chant out loud or to yourself in your mind. It could be a word that you come back to. Or it can be a peaceful image or picture of something that recenters yourself and brings you back into feeling that movement or that meditation or that mindfulness strategy that you're using. When your attention wanders to your thoughts or your feelings, the anchor pulls you back to the meditation and to the present moment. So today we're going to talk about an anchor, just like how an anchor pulls a ship back to the same place when waves roll into the harbor. Think of it as that. It's something that pulls you back and recenters you in the present moment and in what you're doing. Coming up with your own personal anchor can be really fun. And so that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to talk about what would be the best kind of anchor for you. And every person's different. No one is the same. And so yours could be really, really unique and different. So I'm really excited to hear what you come up with. I'm going to give you just a few examples of words, and I think today what would be helpful is just seeing if we can come up with a couple words that might be an anchor for you or an image. And so as soon as I'm going to list off a few just as an example, and then I'm going to have you pause this video and write down something that might be an anchor for you. Some examples are mountain, water, calm, free, love, relax, summer, peace, home, tree, sky. Any of these are just some examples. And if any of those stuck out to you, feel free to use that. But right now what I'm going to ask you to do, Marcus, is to pause the video and to write down an example of an anchor or two that you think would be helpful to you. When you're ready, go ahead and press play again. All right, I'm assuming that you have paused the video and have written down a word or two that you might want to use as an anchor for yourself. And the next part of this is I'm going to ask you to pause the video and think of an image that's really calming to you. So for me, what I think of is I think of being in the mountains. I love being in the mountains. And so I picture myself standing in the mountains looking out over them. And that's an image that I come back to. That's an anchor for me. So maybe yours is being in the mountains, or it's the beach, and that's where an image that you think of. Or maybe it's an image of a dog or a tree or a person or something that's calming to you that makes you feel really relaxed. So now I'm going to ask you to pause the video again and write down a few ideas of some images that could be your anchor. And when you're done with that, I want you to spend some time looking over your ideas of anchors, and I want you to pick one or two. And the next time we meet, I would love to hear from you what those anchors are and maybe how you've used them this week. So maybe you used them when you were doing some deep breathing, or maybe you used them when you were doing your toe taps. So for example, maybe I would do some toe taps if I was feeling overwhelmed, and I would think about being in the mountains. So practice doing something like that this week, and I'd love to hear from you next week how it went. And yeah, I'd love to learn from you what you're coming up with. So I hope you're doing well today, and I miss you. I'll see you soon, Marcus.